Yeah, welcome to Zero Bad Ideas. I'm Jason. As you can see by the title, not playing a game today. I'm just working on some scripting in Tabletop Simulator. I'm also speaking kind of quietly because no one else in the house is awake, so try to keep it that way. I used to do a lot of programming when I was younger, and I recently found out that programming or scripting in TTS is actually really straightforward. So I've just fallen down a rabbit hole. So what I've been working on, and I figured, I might as well just stream. Maybe somebody pops in, maybe they learn something. Maybe they don't, maybe we chat, who knows. But what I'm working on, I'll show you here. This is, can you see my cursor? You can not see my cursor? What the hell? Capture cursor is on. Oh, it's because it's not an arrow, it's a text selection. Anyway, this is a program called Atom, which is designed to integrate into the scripting mod or scripting ability for DTS. If you don't have it, you got to use this. This is hideous. This is no good. But if I say right-click a thing in here and go to scripting editor, it actually does it in Atom, which is just incredible. I love it. And you can see it color codes things. That's just wonderful. But yeah, so I'll show what I've got so far and tell you what I'm working towards. If somebody joins and asks, I'll re-explain it at the time, but in case you're watching this after on YouTube and nobody connects and nobody asks, this is a game called Infiltration. It's made by, or it was made by Fantasy Flight Games in, I think, I want to say 2012 till, from what I can tell, 2012. It basically existed and then stopped existing. Yeah, 2012, says Board Game Geek. It's a kind of a push your luck, non-cooperative, even though it seems like it might be a cooperative game about moving through this facility of 12 or potentially 13 rooms, collecting tokens that are worth points, and getting out before the police show up. Various things increase how quickly the police show up, and basically just if you're still in when they're there, you get no points. So you want to get in, push your luck as far as you can, get back out before it's too late. It's kind of like Clank. If you ever played Clank, you get into the dungeon, you go down, you get the treasure, you have to escape the dungeon for your points to be worth anything. There's 6 characters. There's no difference. It's just aesthetic. And there's a bunch of rooms that get put out, so there's variety each time. There's a whole bunch of items you can collect, special items, and there's NPCs that roam the building if the right rooms come out, which is pretty neat. So I didn't make everything you're seeing here. Originally, this game was a French mod, or it was in French, and an English one didn't exist. The English rules were available, so I wanted to play it immediately as soon as I learned of it. I love it's based in the Netrunner universe. I missed that part. Or not the Netrunner universe, the Android universe. And I have a lot of Android Netrunner. It's back there on the shelf behind me. So to play it, I actually, when you load a mod into TTS, you get all the files on your computer. They're all saved in a folder. So I took all those files, I put them into Photoshop. I used Google Translate to translate all the cards, and use Photoshop to replace the text. So you can see like this. Here, I'll zoom in. This field here, where it's just beige. On the actual card, it's not just beige. I should have grabbed a card to show you, but it's got a bit of a texture to it. But because I had to replace the text with this very boring Arial font, I actually masked out this region on every card and put in this text so that all the text is consistent. I did the same thing for the player cards here. Oops, that's the right button. Oh, no. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I don't remember if I made the standees or not. I definitely made these ones yesterday, because originally you have these cards, and you'll put a card in a room, and the card will be the thing, that the NPC that walks around the building. I thought standees would look nicer. Yeah, these are the player cards. Everyone gets, it's sort of a, not really action programming, but it's a secret simultaneous action selection. Sorry, my baby's sleeping weird. Okay, she seems fine. But yeah, so it's everyone chooses a card, they play it simultaneously, they reveal it. Your options are advance to a room, retreat out of a room, interface with a room. So if you have a card like this, you play interface token, or play interface card, you do with a thing that says under interface. And then download, so when you go into a room, there's, see that big 2 there. That means when this card gets placed, there's 2 data file tokens. Data files are points. They're worth 1, 2, or 3 points. And when you play your download card, which I thought I could randomly get a download card faster than this. There it is. You play your download card, you can just collect tokens from the room. And then item cards do various things. Anyway, that's not really the point. We're not playing the game right now. But I want you to know like what we're looking at here. Because what I've done, and I'm proud of myself. I haven't done programming for a long time, but I have made a couple things. So first, I have this button, and when I click this button, it's going to shuffle these decks, and it's going to put cards in these 13 positions, and it knows that the first floor cards go to this is the first floor of the facility. Second floor cards go to this one, and then these 3 secret rooms, one of them gets one of them gets selected and put here, and then the game will delete these decks because you don't need them once they're dealt out, so they don't take up any table space. And then the new game button will also delete itself once we're done with it. But right now what it does, click it, puts cards out. Now it did more than that, because a lot of cards, well, 7 cards, have text on it that says reveal. So when you flip it over, there you go, reveal, increase the alarm tracker by 1. The alarm tracker is something that facilitates the police showing up faster. So what I wanted to do was have a button here on the card that when you click it, it would flip the card over and apply any effects. The stupid thing is buttons on cards are not visible when a card is face down. You also can't see the name. Like you can see when I hover over this, it says, well, you can kind of see it. It says Biomedical Lab. I mouse over this, it has no name. I flip it, it has a name. So face down cards are basically, they're unknown. So what I've done instead is I put the reveal button in here, so when you flip it, you click it manually. And what it will eventually do will be to put all the required tokens out. It'll modify the alarm tracker. If there's an NPC, it'll move the NPC down. That functionality does work. If I have an NPC one here, there you go, like magic. Boom, now Officer Nelson is in this room. The game doesn't know what room Officer Nelson is in yet. It's kind of a tricky part because the way this works. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Oh, and then this I'm kind of proud of too. So at the end of each turn, you roll this die, and it increases the closeness of the police. You also add whatever the alarm tracker is. This goes to 8. So you roll this die. The game detects what value it is and puts it on the screen. So if I puts down 0, roll this, it's going to go 2 plus 3 is 5. Easy peasy. However, if you say you can't find the die, or it's like it's off in a corner somewhere, you don't want to look for it, you can click this button. Clicking the button, and this is the part I'm proud of. The button itself has no functionality in it. All it does is say roll this die. The die actually has all the scripting built into it, and I love that TTS can do this. And I mean, I guess it's just that's the way programming works, I guess, in a lot of cases. But it makes my life so much easier that the die, proximity die, tracker die, yeah. This has the scripting in it. It says when this die gets rolled, it's going to run a function that says you get the value of the die, you get the value of the alarm tracker, add it together, change the tracker. Whereas the proximity tracker button, oh, you know what? I lied to you. It does roll the die, but it also has its own proximity function. I bet I don't need that. Oh, maybe I do need that. And this, if you're not familiar with it, is how programming works. You do a thing, it doesn't work, you try to do a thing again. No, I need that to be commented out. Oh, I need this to be... No, that's not going to work. Shoot. The problem with TTS scripting is that a function in this object here, like these are all just various objects. A function in this object is not visible to this, to scripting, to stuff inside this object, which is super annoying. So what you can do normally is you can say global call like this, and that will call that function. Even though it's in a different object, it'll go, oh, no, that's not, so that's wrong, that's proximity die. It will go, okay, where's this object? It's over here. Activate this function with that. But I don't think... I don't know if I can put that in here. Because I believe that the wait frames procedure I don't think it works like this. I mean, all we do is test it. Okay. Honestly, that's probably why I had this set up this way. I bet I tried that before and Rails didn't work. Alright, well, that's fine. So yeah, the die and the button will roll the thing, add the thing together. The reveal button will currently put NPCs out, so what we're working on right now is putting out tokens. So, for example, this one here has a... Well, there's a good example. So, like, some cards have... Here we go. A yellow token. Some have a red token. Never both, because they're the same... Two sides of the same token. And a blue token. And every room has a blue token. Only some rooms have a red or yellow token. So what I've got here in the middle is a bag of tokens. And they're the same if you flip it, but if you press 1 or 2, it changes the state of the token. Excuse me? Huh. Good to know. Don't know why that does that, but cool. Should probably make a note of that somewhere. I'll put it in here. This, I'll get back to this one here in a second. This is my to-do list, basically. Tokens with change state can't go back into the bag. Okay. Must be destroyed. That's fine. Obviously in the physical game there's a limit to how many tokens there are. In this is an infinite bag of these tokens, so I can just destroy one, it just stops existing, and who cares? These are just, yeah, those are fine. I mean, I'll probably destroy both these rather than move them back to the bag. That's a hassle. Okay, so this, a lot of this is actually, is it done yet? No. So it's black and white because it's grayed out because it's a comment. But if yeah, there we go. Actually, I don't want to delete that because I'll forget that I did that. There we go. So this is almost all of this is what happens when the round ends. So there's going to be a button out here that's going to end the round. So at the end of the round, the process is you roll the die to change the tracker here, and then any NPCs move. And the NPCs do different things. So like Tyrone Kent here, he moves one room towards the entrance and then destroys all of the data file tokens. Because I guess he's like scrubbing hard drives on his way out the door. If he's ever in the first room when he activates, he leaves. As you can see here, it was the entry phase at the NPC phase. If he's in the entry room at the start of the NPC phase, he has to return to the box. So he can only show up in, I think, first floor rooms. So he can do at most 6 rooms of damage. One of them starts in the second floor. Probably 2 of them start on the second floor. So they have a lot further to go. With an exception, because see here, Leah Bailey can actually escape from 3 different rooms. But she doesn't affect rooms, she doesn't delete anything, but when she escapes the facility, she increases the proximity by 20. The proximity tracker goes to 99, then you lose, and the game ends. So she's a bit of a problem. She's a bit of a timer. Now, maybe those 3 rooms, well, the entry room is always there, but maybe those other 2 rooms don't exist, which would be great, because then she has to walk all the way to the entrance, and you have a lot more time to get there. But if she spawns in next to the loading dock or something, well, then you're on borrowed time. So anyway, so what I need to do when the round ends is check to see if any of the NPCs are even active. Man, I really hope that literally anyone does not find this boring, because I find it so interesting. Anyway, so it checks if they're all active. The escape check is true. Oh, okay, yeah. So because she can escape at the start of return from 3 different places, I have to check and see if she's in any of those places. So ignore that for now. So some NPCs do a thing before they move, and some do a thing after they move. So I've got a table of data that's not complete yet. Right here. So Leah Bailey. So down here we've ACT. CSX13 acts first before they move. Austin Nelson acts. He doesn't actually move. He just injures everyone who's in his room. So I call it acting second. The other 2 rather will have a first and a second. I just haven't added them in here yet. So anyone who activates first, the way that this works, if you're curious about programming, is it goes through for each this NPC here could be anything. For each item, basically, inside NPC lib, and that's what this is. So this NPC lib here, this is basically a table. Like you picture like this could be in an Excel spreadsheet. These are just columns. And these are columns, and these are the data in the columns, I guess. So inside this is going to loop for each one. So inside this loop, the word NPC corresponds to whichever entry in the table that we're looking at. So NPC.act means it looks at this row of the table, and then inside here, it looks at the property act. So if it's first, then it means we gotta activate somebody before movement. Sorry, I haven't looked at this page in a while. So they'll act. Anyone that acts first will act if they're even active. If they're not active, this whole thing gets skipped. Let me go down to here. Officer Nelson is the only one that does not move. So all we have to do is see if NPC says Officer Nelson. And if it doesn't, then we know it's someone that moves, and we'll run a function that says move the NPC. Simple. We tell it who the NPC is and what room they are in. Do we, though? Retreat NPC. We do not. I changed that. All of this here has not been tested. This is what you would call pseudocode. Well, it's kind of pseudocode. Pseudocode is when you write out something that's basically code, but it's more like English. It's easier to read. This is not easy to read, but it's closer to what I want it to look like in the end. So I suspect that a lot of this will just work when I run it, but some of it will not. So I gotta work through it. So basically, anyone who isn't Officer Nelson will move. Did I not just delete that? What did I just delete? I don't think that's necessary either. Given that it's not on here, I'm gonna say it's not necessary. Okay. Save that. So this will move an NPC. And then if they act second, then we'll rerun the activate NPC procedure, and then they'll move. Or they'll do whatever they do. And then you see here at the end, if the NPC is Officer Nelson, who does not move but attacks everyone in his room and raises the alarm, we run just special for him a procedure that just raises the alarm by 1. The alarm is the red timer that adds to the die value. When we do the retreat NPC, when they move, it's always retreat, it's always moving towards the entrance. We check to see if anyone can escape. So before they move, we have to know if they're even in the facility anymore, which is up here for some reason. I don't know why I put it up top. This is where some of the more like tabletop simulator stuff comes in. So each NPC has a standee here, obviously. Each thing in TTS has a unique identifier code called a GUID. I don't know what the GU stands for. The ID is probably identification. Maybe it stands for nothing. I don't know. Maybe it's a programming thing. I just don't know. So if you recall, NPC stands for whoever the current NPC we're dealing with is. So we want the standee ID of the NPC, which is right here. So we go, whatever the NPC is, dot standee will be this. So get object from GUID takes that number, so this becomes that number. And this goes get object from that number and make it this. So this is an object now. It's not a variable, it's not text, it's not a number, it's a thing that we could run functions on. it also gets the location of the NPC, which is not a thing I've implemented yet because I'm not totally sure how, but what it needs to be is it'll be a number, and this is a list of all 13 positions. And I know that because these are invisible zones that detect any objects inside them, and they have specific positions. So I know that the first card, the first room, is here. So what I ultimately want is for the location value to be basically a number of what room they're in. So if this is 1, that means they're in the first room. If it's a 7, that means they're in the 7th room. And the reason I want that is... why do I want that? Because right. Right. So I need to know the coordinates of the room that they are in, because I have this function here that I copied from a mod that someone made that's like a basically learn scripting in TTS. Oh my god, for a second I thought I was muted. So it takes the room where they are, and it checks to see if they are close to checks if they're in the room. That's what it is. So this does some math that I don't understand whatsoever. It takes the position of the room that they are in. No, that's not what it does. Hang on here. Escape rooms are the 3 rooms they can escape from. Room check is the current room to be checked. Okay, yeah, okay. So it checks where the NPC is. It checks what the position of the 3 possible escape rooms are. Does some math, and then figures out what the distance is between the 2. And if the distance is less than 1, and 1 distance on here is not very far. I'll show you. Turn on the grid. Grid size 1. That's 1 unit. So you can see 1 unit does not leave the border of the card. And actually 1's probably not... 1 might not be enough. I could probably set it to 2. But basically it goes, oh, if it's within range of the room, they can escape if they're the right person. So Leah Bailey, because she has to escape, she can escape from the 3 rooms. Have I screwed this up? No, I haven't. So if... right. So if the NPC that we're looking at is Leah Bailey, sorry, is not Leah Bailey, and the room is entryway, that means the other 3 that can move can now escape. So their standee will be destroyed. They'll be set to inactive, so they're not checked ever again. And then we'll have a message that says they escaped. Otherwise, if the name is Leah Bailey, that means she can escape no matter what room it is. So basically we've run this scenario, this function. We've found that Leah Bailey's standee is on one of the 3 cards. We don't care which one. So she can escape. So she is destroyed, inactive. We broadcast she escaped, and then her function when she leaves is she increases the alarm by 20. And all this does, check proximity down here. We send it a value, in this case 20. Again, we find the ID of the tracker so we can get the object, so we can get the value of the object, which in this case is 0, and we add to it no, that's wrong. We add to it the value that we send. Yeah, so this would be the new proximity, the new value. But because it can't go above 99, we check and see, is it greater than or equal to 99? That means the game's over, so we just set it to 99, and we send some messages to say, you know, game over. Just for fun, I've said here, if it's now over 70, we have a specific message that will be in red, and otherwise it means it's from 0 to 69, we have this very mundane message in yellow text. And that's it. And then at the end, we set the value of the proximity tracker to the new value. I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I wish there was somebody here to say, no, Jason, that's not straightforward. Like, this is all gibberish. I don't understand anything you're saying. And I would say, okay, I would love to tell you more about this. I actually took programming in college. We took in 3 semesters, we did 3 different languages: C#, Python, and Visual Basic Script, maybe? Anyway, the point is, the professors knew what they're talking about. They've used these programming languages. They understand how they work, but they weren't great at teaching us how they worked. So they would give us these little, like, 45-minute lectures, cover a whole bunch of stuff that I understood because of my history of programming. Like I wrote programs when I was, I don't know, 12 in QBasic, real simple ones, but like I was still into it. So we'd have these lectures that no one understood largely except me, and then we would get together, me and a few of my classmates afterwards, and we would have a second lecture where I would go back through the professor's lecture and like basically re-explain everything in I don't know, simpler terms, I guess, and ask questions and help them out. So like even though I'm not great at programming, I just love it. So I just thought, man, it'd be great if I could like stream some of this and find other people who like programming. I would love if somebody came in and said, oh, like, that's wrong. I mean, that's not wrong specifically, but like, oh, Jason, you typed this wrong here. That's not gonna work. Like, I would accept some backseat gaming in quote unquote gaming in programming. I'm a little nervous to program in front of someone who actually knows what they're talking about, but here we are. Okay, so that checks to see if they escape. Then they move. The movement is, I don't mean to go over this because there's a lot to it, but basically retreating works kind of the same way. We find the object, we find the standee by its ID. We set its location to be 1 less than it normally was. So again, if you go back up to that table of locations, it's now thinks it's 1 less. So it finds what the position is of the new room that it wants to be in, sets some variables, and then sets the position. That's not even remotely how that works. It moves the standee to the new room. And the reason that I have these here, which I actually have a similar thing to over here, except I've not saved it. That's irritating. So what this is going to say eventually will be, okay, we'll fix that in a second. Something similar to this. So if I didn't have this or this, the standee would move to the exact middle of the new card. And I don't want it in the middle of the new card because it might block text or something. So I want it to go, the X would be, is this way and Z is this way. So I want it to be a little more this, I don't know why I'm gesturing like this way to this side and a little more up. So when I've got a card sitting like this, rather than be in the middle, they're going to be, let's say, there. And except for Officer Nelson, who needs to be here because he doesn't move ever. So if they were in the same spot, it's possible that, you know, Leah Bailey could come down here and try to stack on top of Officer Nelson, which I do not want. So I need to be slightly offset from the center of the card. And it'll set it, it'll move it. Yeah. And then after moving, James Harris increases proximity by 5. So that's just a separate thing, only for him. And then activating is kind of a similar thing. Activate NPC, we check what room they're in. And if it's not, the NPC is not Leah Bailey, it's going to do something to the room. So just like how one NPC doesn't move, one NPC doesn't affect any rooms that they're in. So by doing it this way, we can just say, no matter what, as long as it's not Leah Bailey, they do something. So I've named it Clear Room. So we tell it what room it's in, what NPC, because different NPCs do different things. The like Tyrone Kent, he deletes data files, and the robot destroys tech locks and lab workers, which are the red and yellow tokens. And he also kills other NPCs, so we have to check for other figures. CSX13 does that. And then otherwise, so if it's not CSX13 and it's not Tyrone Kent, then it's either Officer Nelson or James Harris, and both of their actions are to injure the players that are in their room. So they're covered by the same function, which is this, where it right. So it's going to find figurines. So it's going to find NPCs. It may find NPCs and it may find players. So what we do is we look in the character library, which is just going to be a list of basically the player name, or the character name, and some identifiers for it. And what it does is it checks to see if the name of the currently selected figurine, whether it's an NPC or a character, exists in the library of characters. And if it's an NPC, it won't exist, so it'll be nil. If it's, as we see here, not nil, I don't know why the tilde is the not. I'm used to being exclamation mark or just the word not. I think I can put the word not. I think I go if not that, but that looks, I don't like how it looks. So if it's not nil, which means it has to be a player that it's found, it will figure out which player it is. So this is kind of gibberish. The item.name is the name of the figurine that is found. So oops. So it'll be like Mr. White, or I shall probably go with like the Brain. Yeah, the Brain, the Technician. You see the standee has the name on it. So this could be like the Brain. So it's going to look in the character library for an item called the Brain for the parameter of player board, which is here, which will be an ID of this board here. The boards represent health. So this way up it's healthy, and this way up, it's injured. Being injured just restricts how many your movement possibilities. So it finds, no, go away. Sorry. This is my cat. This is Sam. He's obnoxious. So it finds the name of the character in the library and gets the player board ID, and then finds the object with that ID. This isn't even the most, I don't think this is the most gibberish one that I've written yet, because I'm pretty sure there's one that's, yeah, that's a little much. So it finds out, so this is an object representing the player board. So the first thing it does is to check to see what the rotation of the player board is. And if the Y value, so the way that it flips cards is the X value rotates it, I think, this way, and the Y value rotates it this way, and Z must go end over end, I guess. So basically I check to see if the Y value is less than 10. The problem is, you can see here, the Y value, now that's a bad example, that one actually is 180. Oh, I've checked the Z value. Okay, good to know. Oops. Oops. So the Z value is less than 10. I say less than 10 because sometimes it's not as accurate. Like, it won't be exactly, well, that's wrong. It won't actually be 180. It might be like 179.9, and then the other way it won't be 0. It might be like 1. But it's so small that you can't actually... Can I help you? It's so small that it won't actually be noticeable, or not really noticeable to look at it, but it will break it if I say, oh, this has to be 0. And the program goes, it's not 0. So what do you do? So if it's under 10, it means it's 0. So we want to set it to be 180. Which I feel like I've typed somewhere. Maybe I didn't type that somewhere. That's weird. I'm pretty sure I typed something that says that, like, oh, this person was injured, or this person was already injured. Injured by NPC, yeah, okay. Oh, that's right here. Injure operative, yeah, there we go. This is... Oh, this was a test. That's right. I made a zone specifically to put standees in to see if they could be injured. But it works the same way. I'll check to see if they're injured. If they weren't, they'll injure them. If they were, it'll say they're already injured. Oh, that's why, because I'm in a new game. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, that's how we determine if you're injured or not. There's rooms that'll heal you, so you can not be limited. So we're in clear room still. So the other thing is if we have to remove tokens. So we have to remove tokens, we go update room is true. Because we need to remove, this is not accurate, we have to remove the tokens from the room. Which means we gotta run a Actually, I can just do it. So if room lib current token, current room token is greater than 0. Is that how I want to do it? Yeah. Because in here, room token, oh, I didn't change that. That's a 1. That's a 1. So the reason I have that is that the two states of this token, one is the, oh, actually that's wrong. One is the yellow side. 2 is the red side. So when it pulls tokens out of the bag, it'll know to set it to the right state. If it's a 0, it doesn't have a token. So if it's got a token, doesn't care what it is, then it needs to remove it. We don't need this part because it's only going to do it one time. This is certainly not accurate. Okay. Let's see here. We know what room it's in, but not where that room is. I need to know what room it's in, because what I want to do is do like the zone, the scripting zone that the room is in. Get objects. Oops. Token search. And then we could go for, I say for object in iPairs token search to if object dot name dot get name is tech lock or lab worker. Is that what they're called? Nope. Now they're called tech worker. Oh, that won't go back in there. Reset that. There we go. One thing you have to make sure is to actually save. Oh no, I can't do that. Did I change that? No, I don't care about that. I need this. I've changed something in here. When you when you save overwrite in here, it reloads the mod and it reloads any scripting that you haven't saved. When you save from here, it reloads this to a previous state without saving it. So you can potentially overwrite things you did not want to overwrite, and I have done that many times. There we go. That's saved. So if it's, so now we only have one of these. I can't say, I could say if object name is token, but because the data files are also tokens, I can't do that. Okay, so we would say if it's a token, if it finds a token, it finds a tech worker token, then we just want to destroy it. But and this will work once I figure out how to find what zone it's in. guess first I could, if it was true, for rooms in pairs room zone, which, oops, room zones do. So first I'm gonna iterate through each room zone, which is really inefficient because I'm gonna have to do it every time this happens, which admittedly will only be once per round. Twice per round at the most, so it should be fine. So we're going to go through each room, and we want to know the rooms.get objects. Current room, rooms.get objects. So current rooms is now a list of all objects in the current room. So we want to look in current room the same way we were. So for each, we can use object here in iPairs current room do, and all we want is the card. Oh wait, that's this. Is that what I want though? No, because that just gets me the name of the card, which does not tell me what I think what I ultimately need to do is when I make a new game, I need to have something in here that says what the location of the room is. I think that's what I might need to do. Okay, well, let's assume I'm going to do that. So how would this change then? So if item is true, no, if item is card, so if it finds a card in the room, it's already found a card there. That's what I was going to do here, so I don't need this. You okay? That's my other cat. He has asthma. Okay, so this up here is while it's still going through each zone and finding things. So if it finds a card, it's going to save what the room is just in case. So current room is going to be the name of the item. No, I want the room lib item get name dot location, which will be a number. Room zones room would give me the ID of the, wait, this doesn't do what I want it to do. Room zones is a table of, where'd it go? These and room is the name of a thing, the name of a room. Why do I think that would work? That would not work. It would work if this use the location. If I change this to zone GUID, I made this room zones, which is a table of room IDs, and I wanted cat just unplugged my baby monitor. Okay. Oh my god. How is that still being that annoying? There we go. Okay. I don't know if that actually would work. Do we get the room anywhere else? Clear room. Active NPC. NPC room is NPC dot location. Oh, I see. I'm already using the location value that that doesn't actually exist. So this is a. Oh, that's why that does work. Okay. So this is NPC room gets sent as room. This is a number. So it's going to pick that number in here. So say it's a 2, it'll pick this one. In other programming languages, arrays start at 0, it starts at 1. I don't know why, but it's obnoxious sometimes. There's one array that starts at 0, and I don't know which one it is, but I haven't come across it yet. So this will find the ID of the room that it's in. Okay. So... but it won't find the ID. No, it will, yeah. Okay, so what I should do then is go room ID is this, because I need to use this twice. And I can do room contents equals room ID. Objects. That way, down here at the bottom, down here, token search is room zone ticket objects. Am I already doing that? I am, aren't I? Okay, everything in here takes place inside the what? Objects in that zone. So I don't need this to be separate actually, that's inefficient. Okay, so if the item is the card, oh wait, no. Because I won't know, if the card is the first item it finds, it won't know that there are items to destroy. I'll have to go through it twice. Current room is room lib item.get name location. That's not necessary because I already have that information. I might not actually need this at all, because if update room is true, then we need room ID actually we need this again. So we've already done that. So if the current room, that's why I have this. I don't need that. Current room is item.get name. So that's going to be like entryway or showroom. So if the showroom, let's say, has a token, it's going to do this. It's going to go back through every object in that zone, which is really inefficient, but I don't know how to get around it. So for each thing it finds, same as before, if it's a tech worker, it's going to destroy it. Because NPCs have already been killed. Players have already been injured. So all this is doing is modifying tokens. Okay, here is the problem. Well, actually, might not be a problem. So this is going to indiscriminately delete the token, whether it's red or yellow, it doesn't care. And there's only one of them, so I could do that and it'll stop. It won't look further once it finds the only one token that matches what it's looking for. So this is already looking for data files. Oh, that's what I did. Okay. Okay, I understand now. If item.name is... I've made this way more complicated than I need to. Tech worker. If item.get name is tech worker, then we're going to tell everyone that token was removed by the robot, and this is no longer necessary. So originally what I wanted was cards that have a tech lock button. When you break a tech lock, this number of data files gets added to the room. So in a lot of cases, you know, it's fine. You break this, you get more stuff. The problem is breaking a tech lock or killing a lab worker is not a card action. You have to have a tool that does it, or a robot. But when you do it, you add more tokens. So that's fine. I can certainly handle that. The problem is that some cards have a tech lock action. So when this tech lock is broken, this effect takes place. So what I originally wanted was a button where this tech lock is, so that when you break it, you would click it and it would apply this effect. But when a robot breaks it, I was like, how do I tell the robot to click the button? And I'm sure there's a way, but I just no longer care. So there's no more buttons. Everything is now... I might still need a button. I just realized that if a player does it... Okay, for now, we're going to say I don't need it. Don't need a button, even though I do definitely, for sure, need a button. So for now, we're looking at the robot. So if the robot breaks tech lock, it has to do a thing. It has to know that the tech lock is broken. So we tell that we say it got removed, and we will destroy it and say the room needs to be updated. So the script doesn't care what gets destroyed. It just knows something did. Yeah. And if it's a lab worker, whether it's a lab worker or a tech lock, tokens will get added to the card. That's universal. If it's a lab worker, there's no extra effect from killing a lab worker. So what we need to do, if update room is true, all we need to know is if room lib current room dot tech lock action. I don't know what I actually called it. That's how I called it. Tech lock action isn't nothing, then it has an action, so it has to do it. Yeah. Current room is get name. Is there a scenario where that won't happen? I don't think so. No, there can't be. Because nothing will stop it from searching through everything, and we'll have to find the card eventually. Okay, yeah. So if the tech log action property of the current room is not nothing, it means it's something. The problem is the something that it is I'll show you. It's not that. Oh, I didn't save it, that's why. Interface actions. Reveal actions. Did I not make a list of the tech lock actions? Oh, that's here. So let's just uncomment this so it's readable. So yeah, so here's the tech lock effects. Only this many rooms have a tech lock effect, so it's not the worst, but basically 3 of them are similar and the other ones are not, which means where I would like to say here's a function for increasing proximity, here's a function for doing this other thing or whatever, I have to have a function for 1, a function for 3 of them, a function for another one of them. And I have to specify, like, I have to manually specify which one is this and what does it do. So let's see here. So if it's this, you know what? Because it's gonna be something, that I might as well do it this way. So do I have, these don't have tech log actions. So let's just say if the tech lock action is proximity 10, then check proximity 10. And that's easy. Otherwise, and I don't know if I can use a case. You know what? Let's find out. Lua case statement. Switch statement. Shut up. Oh my god. You can't hear that because I muted desktop audio, but every time I go to the TTS API page, it yells at me like it's a virus. Okay. No, that will not work. So normally, like in other programming languages, I could say switch this. I think it's a switch. So it's going to say, rather than say if this equals A or if this equals B, I go case proximity 10, and then do something. And I could have case alarm -1 colon do something different. And then I'd have a case else that catches the remainder. That does not seem to be possible in Lua, and that's fine. So we've got a proximity 10. What else have we got? Proximity 10. We have 2 proximity 10s. Perfect. That means that both of those can be one thing. Alarm -2. That seems doable because we have an alarm raise function. So we can go alarm raise -2. It'll add a -2 and go down by 2. That's easy enough. Alarm 2. Okay, so we've dealt with loading dock. We've dealt with cybernetics, neural imaging. Okay. This one, I genuinely don't think I can script in some way. All it does is prevents you from collecting tokens in the room, which is useful, or it's strong because there's only... It's a boardroom? Yeah, there's only 1 token in there, so you want to break this to get more, but when you break it, you have to wait till the next turn to get it. So this would have to be like a broadcast message just to say you can't do it, I guess. Like I could search for any data file tokens there and lock them until the round ends, and then at the end of the round unlock anything that's locked, but that seems like a hassle. So for now it's going to be a broadcast message. So we'll say, where are we? DF. What's that word? Moratorium. So broadcast to all. Room. This turn. Sure. This extra bit here, table, controls what color the text is, but I don't care right now. Something I wish I could control is how long a broadcast message shows up on the screen, because it's not long. Like if I roll, does this do broadcast? It does, right? Oops. That's supposed to broadcast? Okay. Proximity tie does not broadcast. Why does it not broadcast? Where's that line that says with the 3 colors? Is that in here? Must be in here. Oh yeah, that's right. It's in here, which is not active yet. Okay. So basically, this rolling this die is going to have to call this function. Which should be fine. Okay. Also, let's just reload this. Okay. Lost my place. Here we are. No devs can be collected this turn. That's fine. What's the last one? Our second last one. One of those. Place sludge. Okay. So the sludge token is not a token. I could make it a token. So the sludge, let me put this, put it here, sludge, GUID. Yeah. Okay. Sludge. Then get object from GUID sludge. I think that's fine. Dot set position, and we're gonna want it where? I should make it a figure. Do we have the location data yet? No. So what I wanted to do is get the room's position, which we can do because we've got this. This is the card. Room ID dot get position. False, true. False means it won't collide with anything as it moves. True means it'll move fast and not slow. So the NPCs, when they move slow, so you can see things moving around. But this is fine. So what I'm ultimately going to need, realistically, is actually to do this. Sludge position is remedy position, and then we can go so this is all a table, and then inside that table is yet another table. So we can go sludge position X. Basically we're going to go like this, but we want it to be, let's see, below. So here's the card. I want to be cover the bottom half maybe. So we want to go down the table, which is a negative Z, let's say 2. Don't collide, move fast. The sludge just slows you down when you enter the room with sludge in it. So the room that it comes from has where is it? Hazmat depot. Only 2 tokens, only 2 data tokens, but 6 if you break the sludge, if you break the containment unit and the sludge spills out. I don't know why the data files are inside the sludge, but they are. So it's like, do you really want to take the data file tokens? Is it worth breaking the tech lock? Or maybe the robot does it. You don't have a choice over it. Oops. Okay, so that's actually fine. That's gonna do. Oops. That's gonna do what I wanted to do. And then the last one was what? Was that one? Agents retreat 2. Right, okay. So here's what I do. we're going to make another array of found characters, like so. It'll be empty to start. If I find a character, found characters, add, no, what is it? Shut up. Insert? I guess nothing. Okay, so found characters dot insert, and we want to insert. Oh no, we go table insert found characters, and then item name. No, we want this, which means that it will be redundant to do that twice. So injured player will be this. No. This. So this will store the name of the character, or the, I guess the object of the table of the character, so that we can say insert into the table injured player. No, that won't make sense. It's going to be a string. It doesn't need to be its name. Or that will be its name. Will that be its name? What? All right, my stream preview was failing. Did it just not work this whole time? Can't skip back. We're going to assume that it did not fail for everyone else. Okay. So what I want this table for is so that down here we can just, rather than go through the room and look for players again, I want to know what players we already found. Trying to think if this was actually, if this is necessary. It'll find figures no matter who the NPC is. And it'll only do this if it's looking for figures to injure. It'll only injure them No. Yeah. Yeah, that won't work. This is only gonna find figures, characters, if the NPC name isn't Robot or Tyrone Kent, and this update room only happens if the robot activated. So I guess I could tell it that this is what checks to see if it's a NPC so we can kill it. Otherwise, if it finds a figurine, then we'll do found character. That's not how that works. Table insert. Found characters. No. Character library. Item name. So that'll insert into the found characters table the figurine that it found that is not an NPC, that it is a player. You know what? I'm doing this backwards. I'm saying if it's the robot, look through all the items. No, I am looking through the items. Oh. Right. So I'm saying I'm checking each item. So I could say if NPC equals 13, the robot, and item get name is tech worker, do this. I could say if, or actually I'd put the item first. Say if the item name is tech worker and the robot is the NPC. Otherwise, if the item is a figurine and the robot is the NPC, which here doesn't seem like it changes anything. But I'm trying to avoid doing figurine twice. So I could say if figurine is the thing and the robot, then kill it. If the figurine is the thing and it's one of the two cops, then do this bit. Would that be more efficient though? Man. Oh. My baby Shwiggles. She sleeps very weirdly. I don't know if you'll be able to see this because of my ring light. No, of course not. There she is. You can kind of see that. She's very sprawled. Okay. Let me think. Because it's true that I'm checking for a figurine twice, but I'm not looping through twice to find figurines. So I'm not really checking for a figurine more than once. I think it's fine. I think it's fine like this. So we're gonna, if it finds a character when it's looking for, yeah, see, it's still, you know what? If I just say if the item is a figurine and it's an NPC, no. I was gonna say if it's NPC, kill it. If it's not, leave it. And at the end, if the NPC is one of the cops, then go through this and injure them. I think I'm overthinking it. I'm gonna leave it like this. I mean, I don't even know if this works. This is purely theoretical right now. So we're gonna insert the name of the character. You know what? This does not matter because that does nothing. We're gonna use item name, which is, no, not item name, item get name. Well, that definitely wouldn't have worked. I could, at the start, up here, say, like, make a new variable that stores item.getName rather than use item.getName everywhere, but I think that's unnecessary. Okay, so we're going to store this. Because the robot is the only one that can break a tech lock and potentially activate this. So then what I gotta do is for, I think I can use it like this. Just, in pairs, found characters, do. So V is now one of the rows of the table. We're going to go like this. I don't know if I can do this. So the character, which is now the row of that table, dot. No. Yes. No, the character is the name of the character, so I need to do character library character dot location minus equals 1, so it reduces one location, which is not a thing that's implemented yet. And then I could probably reuse this. I mean, this needs to be changed. Because I already have a function that moves a standee. And up here I need to move up to 6 standees. So I could, in theory, I could do retreat NPC, which it's not, but I need to send it what? Just character. Character will become NPC. It'll run this, but it won't matter because will that matter? Will that make one of my dudes escape? escape is above it. That's what I called it, right? Yeah, okay, that's right. So that'll find a thing. In theory, it'll find... Oh, what's my voice doing? In theory, it'll find a... Jesus, location. Which will give us a room zone that it's in. Which is fine. This is obviously not accurate. I could change that now. Oh, so this is... This one is always going to be the first zone, but these two will be not the first zone. Or not like specific zones, they'll be wherever the card is. Something else I was thinking about doing would be, after I set all the cards out, run a quick function that associates each card with each zone ID, so that this would not be a problem. But I do think that if this ran, it would make one of my people escape. So what I can do is add a parameter, NPC, no, not to this one, to this one. NPC and the word escape, and then we go if escape, then do this, and then when we go here, we go retreat NPC true, and when we do it down here, we go retreat NPC false. That way we'll get this, it'll not process the escape function. So location becomes -1, which actually doesn't need to, because that's a function of the retreat thing, isn't it? I keep going the wrong way. Retreat. I mean, this actually isn't right, because this is nothing. Now that I think about it, this is actually going to end up being NPC library, NPC to location, which will not work. Yeah, that won't work for reusing it. So I don't use this. Don't need that. Don't need... Oh, right, that's not where that was. Oh, wait, no, up here. This. So, I basically need to do this here. Yeah. New position, room zone. Again, this is nothing. Maybe this. And that actually, would it though? Because I'm sending NPC, for each NPC in NPC lib. Sending the name. Yeah, okay. So it has to be NPC lib. And the name. NPC lib. NPC, yeah, okay. I guess I could name this like NPC name so I'd know. Whatever. Okay. So I pretty much just need this twice. Character standee, charlib, character standee, yeah. If it's greater than 1, then they can move 2. Otherwise, they can only move 1. Oops. 2, else 1. So if they can move more than 1, greater than 1. That. Officer Nelson has to go up the table, but back that way. Because the other ones will bump into him. 0.25. Okay. Yeah, okay. So what I would like to do with this... Oh, that's not where I wanted that at all. There. Okay, so how this needs to work. Okay, we got a card here, we got a card here. We got a standee somewhere on this card because, or even here. When we play it physically, we put the people down below it so we can still read the card. So it's going to be here. So I want to know where it is relative to the position of the card. So the position of the card is in the middle. So I want to do some math and figure out where this is compared to this one and then move it to this one. So offset X, offset Y, and offset Z. Well, the Y doesn't matter because the Y is still going to be 0.25. So new position is going to be the coordinates. Oh, that's not right. Character, location, position. Okay, so new position is going to be the position of the card. Offset X needs to be the position of the standee. Okay, we gotta do something else here. Character positions is standee.get position. Okay. So the offset X is going to be new positions. The new card is moving to... No. It can't do this yet. I have to do this after. Can I do this after? Yes. Wait. Yes. Okay. I have to do this though. So current position, old position will be this. So those are the coordinates where it's currently located. So I need to know the math between those. So the X will be I guess if we do plus or minus, it'll always work, right? I think. So we do character position X minus old position X. Is that all I need to do? I don't know. I really need to put this into a button and actually test it. Doing a lot of theoreticals right now. So now offset X will be the difference from where the card is to where the character is. I'm pretty sure. Then we change this, we get the position in the new room, and we take the new room and we add offset X. 0.25 is fine. I don't need that. And offset Z. False, false. I genuinely don't even know how to test this right now. there's so much going on with this. Okay, what if I put this into a function? Or a button, rather. Okay. We're going to take this function. And we're going to go to this button here, which is my test button. And we're going to say clear room. Now, why will this not work? I'm sure there's errors. Else if then. Perfect. No, I did that one already. Plus expected near equals. Maybe you can't do plus equals, or I'm doing it wrong. Or is it backwards? It is not backwards. Okay. Okay, clear all. Then if item double equals then expected near injured player. If oh man. Okay, what else? Then where am I missing a then? 51? Oh, down here. If update room. We're talking about this here. Oh, I hate that. Oops. One unexpected end. All right. This is unexpected. Why is it unexpected? This if ends there. This if, else if, else if, else if ends there. This for ends there. If, end. If, end. End. What? Did I end a thing wrong? For end. If, else, end. If, else, if, end. If, else, end. If, end, if, end, if, end, if, end. If, end. Clearly I'm missing something very specific. And it's not. It's probably not this word here that says is wrong. Like, I doubt that this will solve the problem. Typical nil value. Okay, that I can fix. Where are we looking? Oh, right, because it's being called by something, so instead let's go up here. Activate clear room. So I need the NPC name. You know what, let's take this. Do this. Don't care about that. NPC equals not Leah Bailey. I suppose this is conditional on finding the right room. Well, let's just try it anyway. So NPC lib, NPC location. It's not that. It's gonna send NPC room and NPC. I don't know why it said gut. No, that's not. That's weird. I don't know why I said that. And then this is going to be activate NPC. So activate NPC is going to run. Oops. Clear room. Okay. So if I click this button, it should do nothing. Because it's looking for CX13's location, which is currently 0, but also it doesn't know what NPC lib is. That's a problem. Let's just temporarily copy this over there. And we'll say its location is 3. Oops. What? If this, do that, end. Otherwise, end. But why? Unfitted keyword and near clear room. Right, okay. But I need this to end this function. I can't remove it. Nil value. Technical nil value. MC live, NPC. NPC. Top location. Okay, so that's not what the problem is. Oops. There's no way I don't need that end there. That's just silly. What am I missing? That's really infuriating. This would be why you don't just write a whole bunch of code and then check it after, when checking it is the least convenient. Life lesson from Zero Bad Ideas. Also, if you happen to pop into this and you somehow make it in this far, we're playing Among Us tonight, I'm pretty sure. I'm joining some friends for they're doing a stream of it, and I'm going to also stream it. We did a week ago, it went pretty well, so we're going to try that again. That's tonight at 9 Eastern. Go away. Okay, what if I don't need this at all for testing purposes? And I don't do this. Wiggle room is 3. NPC, do we even need NPC? Yeah. NPC equals, yes, X 13. How dare you? Attempt to call a nil value. What are you even talking about? Maybe these weren't formatted properly or something? Oh, is it because room zones doesn't exist? Am I actually just stupid? Yeah, probably. That's probably the case. It was not. Okay. Wait, do I use other tables in here? Room lib, room ID, NPC lib. No. Room zones. Room, which is a number. That's 1, 2, 3. It's that one. NPC, which is this one. NPC is this. Hey, stop. You know what I could be doing? I could be actually finishing the setup, because I know how to make that work. So we're going to put that whole nightmare on pause. We're going to do this. Okay, data files token is token, if token is greater than 0, Wait, did I not do this over here? Oops. Okay. But this is wrong. Remember I did this? Remember I typed this before? And I said that 1 is the yellow side and 2 is the red side? Where did that go? Oh, right. You're still going to be trying to save, so we'll just do that and go back to new game. Oops. Okay. So far, so good. The the thing I'm not looking forward to is the fact that I need to make one of these lines for 32 cards. A lot of them are the same, which will be helpful. But getting their room ID means I have to take them out of the deck, right-click them, get the ID, and put it back in the deck. Because if I take them all out of the deck, then that deck is no longer a deck, and the ID of that deck no longer exists. And if it no longer exists, then I have to go change it wherever the hell I used it. Well, I guess it's just right here. I have to change these. Okay, what was I doing? Is that token 0, 1, or 2? This is my sort of my reminder, my table header. Okay, and real buttons, no. Down here. Okay, so if token is greater than 0, then it has a token. So we will oh, that's stupid. Alt that. I'll read it. We'll grab this one. Okay. So if that's that, we gotta get object from ID deck worker bag. Token bag. You know what? We don't do that because we're actually going to do take object from this and put it parameters in. So the parameters will be where it goes. The position, I mean. Okay, so I need to know the position of the card, which I can get, right? Yeah. Oops. Card position is the object is the card. Get position. So kind of like the other one, where I have to offset it. The token X, we'll say, token Y, token Z will be card position plus, this is 0.1. And so this one, so here's the center of the card. I want to be over and down. This is going to be trial and error, I assume. So let's say over 1 and down 1 equals card position +1. No, Z is down. I want to go over X and down Z. And I need it to be set to the right state. So the problem with that is that the token that gets, so this function here, take object, will take a token out of the bag and put it where I want it to be. And it will exist, but it'll take a second. So the only way for me to apply another, like a further function to it, is to tell it that one of the parameters is to do a function. Wait, that was the worst way of possibly explaining it. A callback function takes effect once the thing that's taken fully exists, because until it fully exists, you can't run a function on it. So the callback function, or the take object, I guess it's a function, always returns the object, or a reference to the object. So, and I don't think it's a GUID, I think it's just the object itself. So what I want to do is just object set state to token end. So this is its own table. That needs a comma, that needs a comma, that needs a comma. So what this in theory should do is once this token gets taken out and moved and it fully exists, this will run a function on that object and tell it to set the state to whatever token is, which, as you remember, is either 1 or 2. 1 being the yellow side, 2 being the red side. So in theory, if this card gets put out with a reveal button, maybe we can just do it. Of course not. So sometimes it decides that it doesn't want to load properly. So we reload that and paste that in and then save it. Okay. So if we click this. So in theory, when I click this button, it should take a token from this bag, put it here, put it somewhere. We don't know exactly where it's going to go, and then flip it. Did not work. Okay. Attempt to index a null value, 79. Reveal card, object, buttons, room, object, get name. Wait, do we have, yeah, room lib is on there. Room lib, data files. Room lib, room token. Room is the object, get name. Object should be the whatever passes the card. Oh, that won't have, no, that should be right. Get the name. Position. The room will be the name of the card. Room lib, room. Room is the name, right? I'm not stupid. Room lib, yeah, okay. Oh, because it's not on the list yet. Okay. Well, that's, I mean, solvable, but irritating. So let's just add all the first. No, you know what? Yeah, no, that's fine. Show room. So what was that one there? The board room? You know what? This one's already in here. Didn't work. Attempt to index a number value. Okay, we're going to undo this. While I've got you. I don't think that'll change. 780 CBE. Okay, yeah. Attempt to index a number of value 61. If object, wait, how is that the problem? This worked fine. Room count is 1. For each ID in room zones, yeah. I mean, this worked previously. Why does it not work now? Is it because... Why is it because? Like it did this part. It added the button. So clearly that's not the problem. The problem is when I click the button. That says 61, which is clearly wrong. Oh, is my baby waking up? No. No, she sleeps. Okay, showroom. You were already in there. You already did this. It was already putting the NPC there. It did that for sure. I know it did it. So whatever's broken now is the token part. So what if I take that out? Nope. You know what I could do? I could just take half the deck out, so it only deals the cards that I actually have. Okay, showroom. Perfect. Okay. So this is the problem. Why is this the problem? This is the problem because what? Token room.token, yes, that's fine. You know what, let's just take out this part. Print me token. Also, this is where I go. We're gonna go put that there. We're gonna overwrite that. So now this deck only has 6 cards in it, and one of them is showroom, so we got showroom every time. This is what I should have done to begin with, and I didn't. Where are you? Showroom. So I click this, it should move the robot down here and it should print 2. It did. Okay. So token's not the problem. Is data files the problem? No, because I'm not even using data files yet. It's just doing token. So it knows the room because it's doing this part. So room lib room works. Clearly, because it gets token. Infiltration is as important as stock ticker. You are correct. That's why I'm working on it. That's why I'm pulling my hair out over this damn thing. Did you see my setup button? My fancy setup button that does one thing and not the second thing that it should do, even though it refuses? Okay, that's not the problem. That's irrelevant. It can't be data files. Okay, uncomment this. If token is greater than 0, which it is, we know that for a fact. Is this the problem? Am I doing this wrong? I don't think so. Take object. Why did that not work? Take object. No, that works. Token X card position. Oh, that's what I'm doing. Oops. I have to specify the... I have to specify the right property. Okay, so now... Showroom. Oh, this would be a terrible showroom location for it to show up in the first room. You activate the robot, it just walks out. What? What the hell did it do? It made a noise. You can't hear it because I have the desktop music desktop audio turned off, but it made a clinking noise. Okay, I'm gonna click from back here and see what happens. That's super useful. I'm so glad that it does that. It did flip. It did change the state, but it moved to the wrong place. Why did it move to the wrong place? Card position, object, position. Why is that wrong? Print. Card position, X. No, that should be how it works. Like, is it set to collide? I didn't set it to... No. I didn't set it to not collide, so I think it's just colliding. Is that right? No, that's not how that works. It just takes it, vision flip, index top, smooth. What if I move it? Smooth is false. So it should move in it just instantly. The default position. Oh, I'm stupid. This is supposed to be position equals this. Otherwise, it's like, where am I supposed to go? I'm so glad it says the default position is the container's position plus 2 on the x-axis, which is exactly what it was doing. Okay, so now let's see. New game. Do this. Showroom. Still didn't do it. Why not? Had an error converting table to vector. What? It wasn't just that print line, was it? No. Position is a vector. Oh. Again, I'm overthinking it. I don't need what it equals, because this is setting the information right there. Look at that. I mean, I actually hate that it moves immediately, and it also moved not far enough in either direction. So let's do X that much, and Z needs to come down, I don't know, 1.5? I don't have to judge that distance. Oh my god. Brandon, are you seeing this? Are you still here? Are you seeing this? It worked. It freaking worked. It set up the showroom. I wish I'd started with that because I would have felt good about everything I'm doing here and not bad about failing at my pseudocode for like the last 2.5 hours. Oh my god, why did I do this? I hope no one ever watches this except you. So I need the interface token, so we basically need to do, not that, we need to do another one of these. Don't need an if statement because every card has it and it's always in the same place. Actually, one card has two, and I don't know how I'm going to accomplish that. I don't need a callback function because it doesn't need to flip. And all I need this to do is be interface bag. And so it moved over that way far enough, right? That looks fine. Oh, that's perfect. It needs to move down for, let's say, 2.5. Oh, well, I mean, you couldn't get much more on the money than that, could you? Oh, that's so pleasing. Oh, man. I'm so happy that that works. What's my other room? Security station. Is that out here? No. Must be over here. Yeah. This one should also work now. Okay. Let's do this. Put this. Nope. Well, that one, don't care about that one. Put security station in there. Showroom. Overwrite. So now I should be able to do this, and it works, and this, and it works. That's satisfying. Actually, this might work too. No, that's not a reveal thing. Wait. No. Because that's not, Hazmat Depot isn't in my table of 3 rooms. So I guess the next thing I gotta do is add the other rooms. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. What can I do that's not that? What can I do that's not that first? Okay. Brian, you still here? No. Okay. I wish he was, but here's my grand plan is for where I'm going with this. So the way the game works is everyone starts down here outside this room. And then we flip the card and we reveal it and we go, oh, what's in it? We hit the reveal thing, things get activated. I actually he's in the wrong spot. He's right in the middle and he shouldn't be. Why is he in the middle and he shouldn't be? NPC, oh, because it doesn't use this NPC. Offset. NPC lib NPC. No, what am I trying to do here? Yeah, NPC. Get out of here. Get name, I think, is what I want. What the hell is this? What the hell is NPC name? Where do I define that? NPC lib. That's not a thing. What the hell is this? Why does this work? There's no NPC name property in NPC lib, right? NPC lib. No. How is this working? That's nothing. Get option ID, NPC lib, room lib, room. Oh, okay. No, that is right. NPC room, or NPC name is down here. Okay. That doesn't have one. Just for the record. Okay. NPC lib, NPC get name. NPC, no, that's not right. What, why'd you come back? Oh, right, because you're supposed to be there. I need, what do I need here? I need the NPC lib of the NPC that it moves, which has to be NPC is the object. No, NPC is the object. Yeah, because it finds it from the ID. So npc.getName should work. I mean, I guess it's the same as using this again here. I don't have to because it's already done that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. NPC lib offset, so offset.x, and that's always going to be 25. Offset.z. I think. Let's find out. And sure. No, of course not. Is it this? Is that what the problem was? No. NPC, oh. NPC offset equals the entry in NPC lib with that name. Offset. No, what's it called? It's called offset? NPC offset. Of course it is. Okay, now let's try that. Showroom. Why though? What? On a nil value? Location is the position of the object. That's fine. NPC offset is this. Is it not? Hang on. Print me this. And then don't do that. Maybe. Showroom. Okay, so it knows it's CSX13. So npc.getName is CSX13. NPC offset is an array, is a table of these. So that's not a nil value. Right here. Okay. Okay, so you know the name NPC offset equals NPC lib NPC get name. NPC offset. Did I spell it wrong somehow? No. I mean, we know that this works because it was working. This get position. Location. NPC. So what part of it does it not like? Can you print that? Oh, okay. So earlier I was saying how when it flips cards, or when it's scripted to flip cards, you can't say like flip it if it's 0 or if it's 180, because like look at this. This is the position. 6.3 whatever. So if I said if the position is -6, do a thing, that wouldn't work. So I have to say like if it's between -6 and -7, if like that's what I need to do, which is just really irritating. Okay, so why? What is your problem? Have I done this wrong? No, I don't think so. Do I need this? Yes. Because normally I would call that params. Let's change it for consistency. So the params equals this array. Oh, wait a minute. Because no, that still wouldn't make sense. Okay, the parameters should be its own table. And then false and false would be part of that table, is what I believe it should look like. Because params has to be a table on its own, and then positions are always what they call vectors, which are basically just XYZ tables. So does that fix it? No. Still saying there's a nil value and I don't know where. Okay, I gotta, let's see here. I'm doing set position smooth, which was working fine. So we can have a positional vector, collide, and fast. Right. So what broke it? Like, what did I change? I mean, I guess I added these, right? What if I delete these? Is that somehow the whole thing? No. Specified cast is not valid. What the hell? Okay, we're going to take this back to how it was. And then we're going to delete these. Pretty sure that's not necessary. Okay, short row. Still nothing. Why? Can I convert a nil to a CLR type? But you worked before. Why do you not work now? what did it do before? I just did this. I got the standee. I got the position of the object. I did this. Don't need that. Set position. Okay. The whole thing does not need to be a vector, so that's good to know. Okay. Okay. Now do the same thing, but find me the offset, but don't do anything about it. Okay, still good, same as you. Now print me, no, that's not what I want. NPC offset, oh, that's what I, is that why? Because this has to be X, Y, and Z. Technically I don't need the X. I can copy this one because it's the same. Well, that's almost certainly going to work now because I'm stupid. And that's what programming does. Oops. Don't need that. I don't need that. This should work now. Love it. Doesn't go high enough. One is not far enough. So we'll go, let's go 2. See how high that goes. Maybe over a little further too. Okay, can't go over that far because then it'll land on the edge of the card. That's somehow still just as bad. Maybe 1 was actually far enough. What? Oh, that's not the Z value, it's the X value. Dummy. Okay. What, 1.25? You know what? I'll take it. I will take it. I might want to put sludge down here. I know it doesn't work yet, but also, where is it? Sludge. Let's just put this in here. So after it does this, it can also do this and the sludge card, which will not actually work because it has to take it out of the deck. Well, I guess I can... What? What? What's happening right now? Oh, it's right there. Just copy that. We'll say that is location. whatever room I click on, which will be the showroom, it should also move specified cast is not valid. But why? Oops. Because this one actually sits in a room, I'm definitely going to make a token of this because, like, what am I supposed to do with this? Where is it supposed to live? Like down here? No, that's stupid. That's becoming a token. Or a, oh, I could make it a token. Like a big, round token. Or it's like even just like a smaller card. Just the top half of the card just sits there or something. Okay, so that doesn't work. I don't know why, and that's not really relevant to the situation that we are in right now. Okay, so where are we at? I can make a new game. I can do this. I can make the robot show up there. I can make that happen. Often Nelson's coordinates, or his offset is wrong. He needs to be minus 1.25 and 2. Let's check that. And I can move on to the, yep. Cool. Okay, I can move on to the data files. If room, real. No, what am I doing here? Yeah, refill card. You know what? Let's put that last, because the reveal thing is conditional. Reveal the card tokens. I mean, they're also kind of conditional. Then we do. What title this part? Add interface token. Add text block worker if present. Oops. When I started doing this, I said, you know what? I've looked at other mods to, like, as an example of how scripting works, and they're unreadable because they don't do comments. And I said, you know what? I'm never gonna not do comments because, like, even I need to be able to read my own stuff eventually. Well, here I am not doing comments, so that's what happened there. Okay, so all but one card has data files. One card has 0, but you can unlock more. So really, I just need to do the same thing, but in a loop. So for, we'll say what do I need here? I need the room again. No, I already have that. Data files. 1, 2 data files. So this says, this is just a loop for start at whatever. It starts at 1 and then go until data files do. I don't think I need to do, there's no pairs to do because it's just doing a thing. This actually just needs to be out here because it's going to be the same for each one, which means they're going to collide, which means I don't know how to avoid that. Not set position. Take. Is there a collision? No. Flip. GUID. Oh, I can oh, okay. I can do, for the sludge thing, I can do take object and then the GUID is, no, what am I doing here? Oh, great. So the, I'm not going to do it this way, but like deck of special cards dot take object. GUID is specifically that card. And then the position would be XYZ. And then those are not smooth is true. So it would be like that. That's too many angle brackets. I think that's what would do it. It doesn't matter if he's not doing it that way anymore. I'm going to use a figurine or a token. I'll use a token, not a figurine, so that I don't have to filter for another figurine. I guess it wouldn't really make that much of a difference. It's never going to look for it, so it's going to ignore it, I think. Really? I have to use an in? I don't have an in. I just want to loop several times. Shut up. Okay. Oh, okay. So we go this is a for loop I'm more used to. From so if I equals 1 to data files, and then optionally I could put another number there that would be how much it increments. But by default it's 1, so that's what I leave it as. Okay, let's try again. So this should make 2. That's the wrong bag. Data file bag. How about that? How about the right bag gets used? That would be handy. Oh, right. That's not remotely where they're supposed to go. Okay, so I needed to go left on the card. So we'll say -1 to start. The height is fine. I'm expecting them to collide anyway, but maybe if I put it like to 2, they'll drop on each other. And then Z, I need it to go slightly up, I guess. Say 0.5. No, plus 0.5 -1. There we go. Okay. While that did work, flip has to be false because those are supposed to be secret. You have still failed me. Why are you failing me? Take object, flip. Defaults to false. Only use with decks, not bags. If rotation is used. So flipping is only used with decks, not bags. So it shouldn't even be affecting it. I just wonder if this is... No, okay, so it is face down in there. I know they actually were all half flipped face up and half flipped face down. Flipped face down. And I had to pull all 117 tokens out and flip them. Actually, do you want to go in there? Weird cat. You want to go in there? Go in there. This cat, man. He's got a house, a little fuzzy house right there. He wants to be in the baby's seat. Okay, windows are face down. We know they're going to come out face up, but why? Because also they don't, flipping is not default false, and also just doesn't matter. What is this? Maybe we can just set it to rotate. All right. Not really sure. Well, that card disappeared. What the hell's happening? Okay. Showroom. So that worked. What I kind of want to do is make an object. Because I don't think I have anything I could even use as an object. 'Cause if I go in here, add a custom component, and I add a asset bundle, I can tell it to be a bag. So what I would like to do is make a bag that's the shape of one of the tokens, and then put the token on the card, and then put the bag on the card, put the tokens in the bag. Put the bag on the card and lock it, and put the tokens in the bag. Would be ideal. But I need, what do I need? A Unity 3D file? No, I don't got none of those. I'm aware that there is a program, I don't know if it's a Tabletop Simulator program or something that, no, it's fine. Something that was a separate thing that works with it, where you can make asset bundles. I just don't want to get into that. I don't have anything to use, so theoretically that works, but let's just say that this showroom has 5 tokens. The other thing is locked data, so when I break a tech lock, it's going to add even more data files onto it. So I'm assuming this is going to just knock them over, because it's going to try to put, yeah. Yep. I believe what it's doing is it's trying to move all of them near simultaneously into the exact same spot, rather than wait. And even if it does wait, like if we click this, yeah, it's merging them all together. Even if it does wait, it's still gonna try to move them into the same place. What if I move them higher? Would they fall into a stack, maybe? That would be helpful. I don't think they will. No, because it's still moving them all at once. I don't know, but why is it moving them all at once? That was an issue with setting up the table, was that a lot of things seem to happen too simultaneously. So like one thing hasn't finished by the time another thing happens that is required for the first thing to have been done already. No, I fixed that already. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna load up a different mod. This Clank mod is so over-engineered with scripting. It does basically everything that I would ever want a mod to do. So I've been using it as a reference for things. What do I want? I want coins. Because when you play a card that gives you coins, it just gives you coins. Gold bag. Okay, that might be what I have to look for. Yeah, here it is. While quantities less than 5 do. Object, take, position, rotation. But see, when you do that, here, let's set base game start. Oh, I gotta pick a color. Oops. Okay. Game start. Now, if I play a card, that gives gold, can I fight this without not enough attack power? That's irritating. Apothecary. What I like about this is when we drag cards out here, it keeps track of what you actually have over here, which is just crazy. And then it knows I can afford the apothecary. No, I can't. That's not buy power. What the hell? Okay, admittedly, it's been a while. Oh, this is the buy power down there. Yeah, okay. Discard card, choose one of the following. Oh, I wonder if it knows if I discard or not. Okay, let's end turn. It's my turn again. It's not supposed to be giving me all my cards back, is the thing. Okay, so I play that. Discard 3 attack, or 2 gold, or 1 life. So it's not automatic. I can discard a card, and it's just saying that's a one. Oh no, discard. No, it doesn't know. Okay, I need a card that actually gives me gold. I need a fight card. I need to fight a goblin. You, give me you. No, that's not how that works. Whatever, you're 2. Buy that guy. Oh my god, give me that. I just need it. Okay, there we go. So if I... Because I got this, I got that. Okay. So if I fight this, it's going to give me a coin. That's only 1 coin, though. That's not actually... Oh, that's what I want. Can I afford that? No, of course not. Okay, now I can afford that. So if I buy this, in my turn, I did not know that it wasn't designed to not force you to discard your hand. That's kind of funny. Okay, so if I play this out here, it's going to give me 5 coins. Except it's going to give me a single 5 coin? Man, this still doesn't prove my thing. It does drop it really high, though. How do you drop? How do you move it? Take object position, rotation. What's your position? 2. Position is player zone's color. Get position. Position 1 is that plus 4. Oh, I see. It's just doing an array, assuming like an array more than how I would do a table. Okay. So I guess the secret to that one is it just drops it from a higher distance. But it's still going to move them all at the same time is the problem. I don't know how to fix that. I mean, we can certainly try to drop them from higher. I just don't think it's going to solve anything. No. So, what if... there was a... what if there was a bag there? Bag. Just a small little bag. Of these cards. Put this over here, where they're going to land. Make it real small. And lock it. Then do that. Okay. Move contents. For that equals 1 source bag dot add get objects. Destination bag dot put object. Put object. I would not have thought to look for that. Put object. Okay. Alright, put object, we can work with that. So instead of doing this, well, we will have to still do that. So, okay. So we're going to do, it's going to look like the destination bag will be the new bag dot put object, and then in there we have the bag it's coming from. My cat is snoring so loud, I'm amazed you can't hear it. Okay. Take object, parameters. So it's just that. Put object from taking the object from the other one. That doesn't look like it should do that, but also this is wrong. Get object from ID this. So this is the destination bag, which it will put into from this bag an object which doesn't even need this actually. The parameters are not necessary because we're not moving it, we're just taking it from one to the other, and because it's flipped, because it's face down, it shouldn't be visible, you would hope. It doesn't matter where that is because it's going to move it from one to the other. Oh my god, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. So what I need to do is get rid of this. The new bag is this. And we're going to do that. And then new bag dot set position smooth will be I need those numbers. Okay, new bag dot set position. I realize I don't have that yet. It doesn't exist, but I will. Params. Don't need those. Don't need those. Yeah, that's right. And then new bag equals get that. This becomes new bag dot put object. So, okay, here's what's going to happen. It's not going to work. So, it's going to start moving the bag, and it's going to try to put things in it before the bag is finished moving. So I don't know if it'll put things in the bag while it's moving. I don't know if that's possible. Wait, set position needs don't collide and do move fast, let's say. So I'm going to click this. Everything's going to happen as normal. This bag's going to move over there at the same time that token's going to come out of here to move into there. But the token's going to move so fast, I don't know if it's going to matter. Have it in this wrong again. I don't need the X, Y, and Z in there. I know that for a fact. Do I need to say position? I don't think so. Maybe the set position smooth doesn't use the same parameters? No. It's also not moving the NPC because it's not getting to this part. It's stopping here. My baby is wiggling. If she wakes up, that will be the end of this stream that I've enjoyed. I mean, I would have enjoyed it more if people had popped in, but like that's fine. Like it was a weird time to start it anyway. But I've made some progress. It's helpful to talk out loud to work through some of this stuff. So I mean, if anyone did watch this, like thanks, and if you watch it later, then also thanks. I don't think I'll put this on YouTube. I don't think it needs to live forever. But I'm assuming I'll be back in 8 hours, which will be 9 o'clock Eastern time, to play more Among Us with my friends from the No Pain No Game channel, which is nopainNoGame.ca. If you want to look them up in the meantime, they are a good time. She might still be sleeping. It's hard to say. She gets really wiggly. She might be there for Among Us for a bit too, depending on her mom's availability. Okay, why is this failing? Is it failing because... Why is it failing? New bag is this object. New bag, set position, do that. What if I just don't do this part for now? What if all I want to do is move the bag? Specified cast is not valid. But why though? So the problem is the bag doesn't want to move. Unless some part of this is wrong. Like if I was doing it down here, it would still look like that. Well, that's what it would look like. So I can't imagine that it's somehow a formatting thing. It was. Of course it was. And what was the problem? I have no idea. So make that smaller, very, very small, to represent how big it'll be when it looks like a token. Game, do this. Oh, damn it. That's the whole friggin' point. Smaller. Okay, well, it did it. That's what I mean by it wants to move the tokens thing before the bag finishes moving, so it doesn't know where the bag is going to end up, so it moves it to where the bag was, which works, but like, oh, you know what I should do for bags? I should make them little tiny computers. Just like, I could do that in Blender. Make a little 3D model of just like a computer monitor and a keyboard sitting in front of it, call it a bag, and the files can live inside the computer. I might do that. I'm pretty sure I could really easily do that in Blender. I don't use Blender a lot. I used to use SketchUp, Google SketchUp, when it was free, and you could have it on your desktop, installed on your desktop, and use it. And now you can't because I don't know. I can't possibly understand You can use a web version that's not good. I mean, it's fine, but it's not as good. I don't think there's like shortcut keys and stuff like that, like things that I rely on. But I'm not paying like $800 to have Google SketchUp when I could get like Blender for free. But SketchUp was so easy to use, I can't. It just baffles me. I mean, whatever. They like money, but I don't think it's a Google thing anymore. Maybe it never was. Wasn't it Google SketchUp? I'm pretty sure it was Google SketchUp before. Now it's not. Now it's what the hell? Okay, that's not an API thing. That's just a... That might be an actual problem with my computer that I've been ignoring. Make SketchUp now. Trimble. Yeah, Trimble. I guess maybe they always made it. But like now it costs money and it didn't before. Anyway, if I had SketchUp, I could have made a little 3D model of a computer like, very, very quickly. Blender will take me slightly longer. Okay, so yeah, this was my old function that added buttons for the tech lock and the interface, which I still kind of need. Oh, I skipped over something earlier. When Brandon was here, I was saying what my grand overall plan is. So, you got the game here, and you got out here, and you're starting, you flip this, and you do a thing, and whatever, it fails because that's not on the table, but whatever, it's fine. You move in the room, and on your turn, you play one of these cards. We're ignoring that one. Okay, well, I don't know where the... Whatever. Oh, I got 2 retreats. What am I missing? Interface. Yeah, so on your turn, everyone picks a card simultaneously, and they play it in turn order. Yeah. Advance makes you move a room ahead. If it's face down, you flip it up. If it's not face down, then whatever. Alternatively, retreat, you move back a room. If you're here on the front and you retreat, you actually leave the facility. I don't think there's any limit to when you can leave the facility. I think you can leave as soon as you want, but then, I mean, the longer you're in, the more files you collect. If you get into a room that has data files in it, you can play your download card. And if you're as you can see here, if you're the first person in the round, so this is where turn order is important, to play download, you can collect 2 tokens, which this room only has 2 tokens. But if anyone played a download card in this room first, then you get, you only get to collect 1 token. So you want to get to a room first, or at least get to a room with lots of tokens. And then the other thing is advance. So if you're in a room with an advance ability here, remove this token to draw 2 cards. So normally, if you're playing this for reals, you move in here, you play your interface card, you take this off, you draw 2 cards. What I want is to have a button. And initially, I wanted a button here, somewhere associated here. Then when you click it, the game knows who clicked a button based on player color. So it could say, I'm blue. It could be like, oh, blue clicked this button, therefore remove this token, and then deal 2 cards from the item deck into blue's hand, and that would work. But what I would like to do, because of all the other automation, is I would like these cards to have buttons on them. Like you see how there's all this white space down here. I want a button right here. I play this card at the table, I click the button, I advance. I click this button, I retreat. I click the download button, it don't know how it's going to tell what order I acted in. I mean, interface, I click this button down here that doesn't exist, click this button, and it goes, okay, who clicked the button? Player blue. What character is player blue? There'll be a table for that. Get that standee. Get the standee that's associated with player blue. It's right here. What room is player blue in? Or is this character in? It'll have to be the location. I need another table that stores the no. What will it have to be? Not the location. I somehow have to find out what room, what card the standee is standing on, and then check the interface action and perform that. And at the end of it, it'll still go, okay, blue is playing the brain is on security station has an interface effect, remove this token, draw 2 cards, and it'll do it, and give me 2 cards. It'll somehow have to be set to not have an interface token afterwards, though. So somewhere in here, like the room here, interface. This is almost certainly not useful. What I was going to do was have, because there are common, these are all the interface actions. There are some common ones. I can see player board here shows up a couple times, whether you're being healed or injured. So that could be one function that appears several times. Or things like draw items, that shows up all over the place. That's one thing. So what I was going to have was like a thing that says like draw items and then also how many items. And so, and the remove thing here. So when it runs the interface, it'll check for, it'll go through this table here for all the keywords it has, which can be any number of them. If it says remove, it knows to remove it. So if whatever remove. If the item in there says draw 2 items, then it goes, okay, run the draw items function with number 2, so it knows to draw 2 items. These ones here, that's actually nothing. Actually, I don't know anything about that. This one here, the interface action is to activate the robot. So there won't actually be, I mean, all it's going to do is set the robot to active. And if I could put like build the function into here, that would be real helpful. But as you can see, there's so many different things, and they all do like different enough things. Like play item, there's no way I can script that. This one here, escape by discarding. This is discard 4 tokens and escape. Probably can't script that. So some of these things, it would be impossible. It's going to be like a message on the screen that says, "Hey, do this," because that's what you're allowed to do this turn. This one here, peek at 3 face down rooms and play 1 action card. There's no way to script that. That's going to be like you do it. But then there's things like collect data files from players in adjacent rooms and put them in this room versus collect data files from agents in this room and you keep them. Like, there's just, oh, here's something I was wondering about. Can I search this? Okay. I was concerned that if I put a bag in the player area to collect data files in, it would make it easier to do things like this here, discard up to 3 tokens to collect that many tokens. I can't script that because I don't know how to tell it. I don't know how to tell it to do 1, 2, or 3 tokens. But if I could, if it was a straight trade, then like take it from the bag, put it back in the bag, and take new ones. I briefly considered putting a region on here. So when you have something like that, like when you have like discard cards or discard tokens, you put those tokens in the bag, or in that area rather, the region, and click an associated button, and it goes, okay, yes, you have discarded this many tokens, here, have 3 more tokens, or 2 more tokens. Or you've discarded the requisite number of cards, like, you may proceed. So, I don't know. And then this one over here, this would just be, I don't even know. You use this one instead of download if you want to play a more advanced game. It depends. It's kind of like download, where the more people who play a download card in a room, the less tokens you get, but you start off better. So if only one person plays it, you get 4 tokens. But if 2 people play it, then everyone gets 2 tokens. It has nothing to do with order, like who got there first. It has everything to do with how many people actually played this card. I don't know if we've ever played with this card, and I mean, really we should. There's nothing wrong with it. I always think when we introduce new people to this game, we'll use download because it's more basic, but like realistically, it's not actually that complicated. Oh, that didn't work. Sometimes the game doesn't load properly, so it doesn't save properly. So you can see I have to copy all of this, load the thing, which will reset this back to what it was, and then I can paste it and get back what I had before. Then I save it, and it goes saving and received, updated. There you go. So yeah, I feel like I've been at this for 3.5 hours. Yep, that's time definitely flies when you're doing programming. I've accomplished some things. Realistically, I spent a lot of time explaining what I had to no one, but it really is explained to myself, and that's actually really helpful. If you're done programming, like, sometimes you can just bog down in what you have done, what you need to do, what you can do. So, in the meantime, I'm going to add more rows to this. I'm going to add the other 2 NPCs. I'm going to make a player library that stores the player color, the room lib also needs room ID, you don't have a location in there, right? No. This needs a location. Oops. Copy the wrong way. And these don't actually have to go in the same order everywhere because I'm using named references like keys and values. If I wasn't, and I ever used like, oh, give me the 3rd property, then it would matter if they're in the same order because then it would be different. Anyway, so yeah, player library, which will store the player color, I guess the location that they're in, which would be easy to do with the advanced cards. You play the advanced card, add a location, play the retreat card, you subtract from the index. I guess the standee ID, because I could get all the objects in the zone and look for a specific character, which I don't really want to do. I don't want to loop a million times. Yeah. I also, it would be helpful, no, that's gonna do that. I can actually do that right now. Because when it sets things up, puts these out here. And it knows the position it's going to be. So what if I... No, that wouldn't work because it's going to... Okay, here's what I can do. We go for... probably just that. Room zones. Actually, you know what? I can combine those. Because I already got to go through the room zones, check what they are, or I mean, not check what they are, but like find the card, add a button to it. So while it's doing that, if object name is card, then do all of this. Room count is 1. Okay, here's what we can do. So we can say room lib object get name dot location equals room count. Then room count goes up by 1. So this is going to set the location to be, in theory, 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 up to 13. 13 isn't really necessary because moving... Oh, damn it. I just realized that there's 2 cards that let you move into the secret room that would be broken by the advance and retreat cards. Which means the advance and retreat will have to be conditional based on being anywhere but the 2 rooms that let you enter and exit. Exiting the secret room would be fine because you advance, you go to one room, you retreat, you go to another room of a certain name. And if each name is tied to an index of room zones, that could work. And the secret room will be room 13. So you just say, if you're in room 13, here's what advance and retreat does. I would check and see if the rooms actually exist and are face up. Otherwise, you could possibly advance into the room and then advance to the second floor. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna do a little print here. I want to print the object dot get name and one of these and not location. Name not location. And I realize that this number here should be room count, but I don't want to trust this room count. Well, I mean, it won't be because room count has been incremented. I want to know that after it's done that, it knows what room is where. Also, this probably won't work without having all the rooms, or it'll only work on the rooms that I do have. No, it didn't work. Okay, what if I make some fake rooms real quick? So all I need are 6. Well, I mean, I'll just make 6 and that. That's not what I want to do. Wait, I can do this way. I realized I said I was going to call it a day. That was a lie, as you can see. 22 security stations, loading dock. Locker room. I'm going to tell it not to... Actually, it won't matter. I can tell it to... Oops. I believe that's what that's called. Serialization already have surveillance. This is called surveillance. There's more cards than this. I don't know why I made 13. That's... Did I already replace that? What the hell? When did I do that? Brain mapping is the brain mapping unit. Biomedical lab. And I don't actually know what this is called. I don't think it's called the environment simulator. Locker room, research in the office, yep. Surveillance room. Surveillance room. The purpose of this is lab. Oh, remembering lab is so that when it runs, oh, it's just called that. Motion forward testing area, and that one. Conveyor belt, loading dock, security station, showroom, infirmary, biomedical lab, hazmat depot, yeah, incinerator. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there's 15 of them, so I've missed 2 somehow. So what I want to happen... Did I just delete those? No. What I want to happen is when I hit the button to make the buttons. That didn't make sense. How am I ever going to figure out which one I'm missing? That conveyor belt, right? No. Incinerator. That's what I don't have. Okay. Okay. When I hit the button, I want it to make the... I want to arrange the cards, but I need the cards to actually exist for it to assign a location to them, which is what I need to test. So, in theory, this will do... Okay. Room zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, 6. That's where I want to stop. So it's only to do the 6 for 6 rooms. These are nothing to do with room zones. That should be fine. Concatenate a nil value. But why? I know what it means. I know where it's referring to. It means here. It means that this does not exist. Oh. Room lib. Yeah. Okay. So what I've done is, as I put the buttons out, I also counted the rooms and used that count to number the rooms. So now, if I say the brain here is on room 3, I can find out what room that is. I don't know. I don't know if I've done anything useful. Okay, so this should be locker room. Yep. Environment, infirmary, research, boardroom, and surveillance. Okay, perfect. I was a little worried that it would go through them in a non-linear order for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. Oh, that's too many messages. So all I need to do is add the other rooms, uncomment this, and it'll count all the rooms as they get made. Put a space there, second floor. So, and I think that will solve a problem. Because I'm pretty sure there's a scenario where I need to know who's where, especially with the NPCs. So the NPC dot location would tell me what room they're in. No, see, that doesn't. But I can't use that as a reference for the room library because that's a property. I'd still have to cycle through all the rooms to find the one that matches the location, which I guess is better than what I have now, which is that I can't do that at all. Like right now, if I put an NPC in a room, I want to know where that room is. I'd have to cycle through all the zones, find the zone that matches, that contains a standee that matches that. Yeah, find a standee that matches the ID of the one I'm looking for. Find the name of it. Find the corresponding row in the table of NPCs, and then get the location property. Whereas if I do it this way, I can say, oh, where is this character? They're in location, whatever. But does that actually get me anything? It would help me move them easier. It would also help me check if they're in the entryway, because that just checked if they're in location 0 or location 1. I actually think I'd only have to check what room they're in when they get placed. And I think I could transfer that from the card, because the card's going to know where it is. The location's going to know where it is. And the location summons the NPC. So the card should be able to say, summon the NPC, and that NPC gets this location value. And then that'll be set. And then as long as, even if a player moved it somewhere else by accident, as soon as the NPC phase happens, it's going to move to where it's supposed to. Because it doesn't care where it's moving from, it just cares where it's moving to. So that probably actually is what I need to do. So that's good that I've done that. I don't need this to print it anymore, because I know it works. Okay. Alright, now it's been almost 4 hours, so I should, for sure, take a break for a little bit. Should definitely eat something. My baby's still sleeping somehow. She's been sleeping for a while. Should maybe wake her up to eat something? I don't know. But as I said, it looks like we're definitely on for Among Us tonight. Yes. Yes, for sure. So that'll be right here, twitch.tv/zerobydeas. Technically, it will also be at I don't think they have a custom URL yet. NoPainNoGain.ca will redirect you to their YouTube page. That's Jay and Dr. Tiger is his username, and Shane, and I think Luke's gonna be there. Brandon, I think, is gonna be there. That's gonna be a good time. If you want to see what you might expect, I would recommend going to on my channel here. Go to videos, go to highlights. I've got 2 Among Us highlights, and I'm pretty proud of them, even though they're pretty rude, if I do say so myself. A little bit of betrayal of not 1 but 2 other Jasons. So yeah, give that a watch. I recommend it. I mean, 30 other people have watched it already, so like it must be worth a minute of your life, I guess. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now, as I've said several times. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for watching and joining me here. If you did, if you watch it later, let me know if you enjoyed it or if you hated it, and I'll never do it again. But, you know, whatever, I probably will. I got a lot more work to do here. So much more work to do. Although it is largely creating tables. So, also, I might set these at a sort of a jaunty angle, so when they come in, they don't, like, bump into each other. That's a minor thing. And if you want to play this, it's on the workshop. You can find it. It's just called Infiltration English. The scripted version is not on there yet because it's. I mean, I wouldn't suggest that anyone tries to play this in the state it's in right now. So, eventually, one day, it'll be on there. It's the mod that no one asked for and no one's going to use, but I really want to get into programming. This was or get back into programming, and this is the project I decided on. So, anyway, I will see you later in the next video, whenever that is, other than, I mean, obviously tonight at, as I said, 9 Eastern time. And thanks for watching.